Welcome to the latest episode of Honest Reviews. Today I'm going to be talking about the FR UFS Street Frame, which was designed by Wish. If you've been watching this channel over the last few years, you'll know that I've got an absolute fetish for flat frames and I've bought an insane amount of them, and this is the latest one to add to the list. Not because I thought it would perform better than others, not for any deep philosophical reason. I basically just got them because I thought they looked cool. And this is the first Wish product that I've ever bought. Now, I know that it's made and distributed by FR, but Wish designed it. And I've never skated Wish frames before because they always just looked as if the ride height was a little bit higher than I wanted. And the frames always looked a bit long, especially the original Wish frames. I thought that the H-block was a little bit too wide for my tastes, and I didn't like that you had to use a mixture of wheels on the outside and on the inside. I would just prefer to only ride the same size and profile of wheel all the way along. Wish basically addressed all the issues I have with their original frame and the medium frame with this. They have made it so that it fits same size wheels all the way along. There's no rocker. I have chosen to go with 58mm 92A dead wheels. They have also slightly changed the design on the frame walls. So instead of being all rounded, it's kind of all squared off now. And they have also made the H-block a little bit narrower lengthways, which I liked because I thought the other one was just a little bit long and offered you the opportunity to move about on grinds, which I didn't really like. In short, I think this is the best looking frame that Wish have designed so far, and I jumped at the chance to try it. The frame fits up to 60mm wheels flat. I decided to go with 58mm 92A dead wheels because I'm a coward and I'm not skating 60mm flat because I just don't think I'm good enough. The FR Wish frame comes in three sizes. I was torn between the medium, which is 260mm, and the large, which is 275. I decided to go for the medium because I like the maneuverability that a shorter frame offers, and even though I'm a size 9.5 UK and they recommend you go with a large, I don't really think it offers many disadvantages. I don't think it's any less stable than a longer frame, at least I haven't noticed that. The H-block doesn't change in size no matter what length of frame you get, so that's not affected. And I just find turning and skating generally more enjoyable on a slightly shorter frame. If you know anything about FR products, especially their aggressive products, they are some of the most reasonable on the market, and these are no exception. I bought a pair of these frames for £55, which makes them one of the cheapest flat frames on the market. The only other frames I can think of that are around about that price are the Kaiser Fluid 5 and maybe the Celtic flat frames. Most other flat frames, especially good quality ones, you're talking £70–80 upwards, so that is great value for money. First impressions when I got them out the box, I was really impressed with the build quality, really liked how they looked in person, and setting these up was an absolute dream. Some flat frames are a bloody nightmare to get the wheels in, especially the middle wheels. With these, it was absolutely fine, painless. I did not shout, I did not scream, I did not swear, I did not throw anything across the room. So that instantly gets it brownie points over the majority of flat frames on the market. But I've rambled on long enough. This is the finished setup with the Team Sway 2024s. Black sole plate, black frame, mint wheels, classic setup. I've skated these for a couple of weeks, almost 3 weeks, and here's how I got on.
As if
And we're back. I have skated the FR Wish frame for just over 2 weeks, just under 3 weeks. I've skated at a couple of all-day street sessions, bunch of park sessions, bunch of solo missions, and from the very first session, I absolutely fell in love with these. As you can see, I've got quite a significant groove on the backslide plate now, and one of the first things I noticed about this is how unbelievably good the sole plate to H-block angle is. And what I mean by that is when you're on the grinding surface and you're connected with the backside plate on the ledge and the H-block on the ledge. Royale's backslides, Favres, Unities felt like an absolute dream in these. In fact, it's one of the best experiences for that I can think of this year. The very first backslide I tried on a ledge in these, I slid all the way to the end, clean off the end with complete control. I am not that good at backslides. They usually take me a few attempts to dial them in, and with these, they just felt so easy. It almost felt like cheating. And another thing that I was kind of worried about was the frame length. I was a little bit concerned that having gone for 260 on a larger shell, that it might feel a little bit unstable or I might not enjoy the experience. Nope, that was absolutely fantastic as well. Rolling around, turning, pushing off, strides, everything just felt great. Really happy I decided to go with the shorter length instead of going for the large. If you're like me and you like ease of turning around and you just want to be a little bit more agile, I would recommend going for the medium. For all you geeks out there, like me, that are curious about how it compares to other frames, this is the FR UFS Street Frame along with the Ground Control Federlite 4. As you can see, it has got a slightly narrower groove than the Federlite 4, but it's also got a wider H-block and it's got more wheel cupping here and here. The frame that I would say it is closest to, I'll put it here first, is the Entente Diridari. So this is the latest Entente Diridari, and they're round about similar length in terms of the wheelbase, and the H-block has a really similar groove. In fact, it's quite scarily similar in terms of its depth, in terms of its width, but the FR frame has bigger nubs here, which I'll try and show you. So it offers more wheel protection than the Entente Diridari. This is probably my favourite flat frame on the market, but the FR Street Frame's definitely given it a run for its money. It offers more wheel protection, and I don't know if you can see here, but the wheels, the inside wheels, are basically entirely covered almost. Like they are showing very little. In order for you to get wheel bite, and I didn't get any wheel bite, you would have to be so far over the ledge that you're basically standing on it before you would catch a wheel. And even then, the plastic is more than likely going to save you. This is the closest you can get to skating anti-rocker, having all the benefits and protection of anti-rocker while having all the benefits and the speed and the maneuverability of flat. I love this frame. I really, really love this frame. It's one of my favourites, but it's a very expensive frame. This is close to 150, I think it works out with shipping and everything, almost £150. This is 55. It's almost a third of the price. And for that, you are getting a really, really great quality frame. It's also slightly softer than the Entente Diridari, so it slides a lot smoother on most materials. I particularly found these really good on rough ledges. They slide so well on rough ledges, and on everything else they slide just as you would expect a good frame to slide on. Rails felt fine, coping, skate park, fine, but these really come into their own on a rough concrete ledge. They were so good that I think I'm going to stick with them. When I bought these, I thought it was going to be a £55 experiment. I was going to skate them for a bit, hopefully enjoy them, but probably go back to the Entente Diridaris. Now, I'm enjoying these so much that I am sticking with these until I've absolutely destroyed them. And what I like about it is The only part that I wasn't really a fan of the design of was that it said FR there, because I thought it was a bit strange that I'm skating a USD skate and then I'm skating like a boot company frame, an FR frame. But I've already worn off the logo, so you can't even make out that it is an FR frame now. It just looks like a black frame, which is absolutely brilliant. The FR Street Frame is available in 3 colours. You can get it in black, like this. You can also get the white, or you can get the magenta. So it comes in a nice array of colours, and it's also one of the cheapest flat frames on the market. Like I said, it's just as cheap as a Fluid 5 or a Celtic, is it Stealth? Can't remember what the Celtic flat frame's called. Whatever that's called. And I would argue it's one of the best. So you've got one of the cheapest flat frames on the market and one of the best, which that's the best of both worlds. It's kind of got me tempted to try other FR products. Not tempted enough that I would buy the Diaco Diaby Pro Skate because I don't really like the open shell part on the top. But it's definitely got me thinking more about FR and the quality of the stuff that they make. And if this is an indication of the products that Wish design, I am now a big fan of Wish as well. So if you're on the fence about trying these, I would thoroughly recommend it. £55 is brilliant value for money for a flat frame. I have not encountered any issues with these. I genuinely can't think of a single negative thing to say about them. The hardware is great. None of the axles have come loose. They come with UFS bolts in different sizes to accommodate different skates as well, which I thought was a really nice touch. The packaging's great. It performs unbelievably well. If you're torn, if you're undecided, I thoroughly recommend trying these. And if you don't like them, come up to me at a skate park or a skate competition and curse me out for being wrong, but I'd be genuinely surprised if you don't enjoy these frames. They are brilliant. Before we wrap things up, I just want to give a giant shout out to my Patreon supporters. They are listed on the screen now. If you want to join the Wheel Scene Patreon, you can do so for as little as £3 a month. There's a bunch of videos on there that aren't on the YouTube channel, a bunch of photos, ramblings, insider industry gossip. There's a chat on there that we're pretty active on, and it's just a bit of a good laugh. So yeah, get involved. Here is a couple more clips of me dying on my ass trying a full cab crown grind and just getting absolutely owned.